Back to Besa starts right now on Fox 13. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Back to Besa. I'm your host, Besa Gordon, and as usual, we have a lot to talk about this week. So if you haven't grabbed your snacks, this is the time to do it. This week on Back to Besa, we go backstage to the Cutting Up Massacre. We do some self-care this week at Noir Lux Candle Co. to make candles with Kalina Bruce. We go to Inside for a sound bath to get our vibes right. Plus, Back to Besa contributor Trey Holiday takes us to a community health and wellness fair. We learn about the Spectrum Dance Theater and its rich history. We relive what happened at the Seattle Association of Black Journalists annual Black Voices Matter event. And we learn about the Suquamish Tribal All-Star team. But first, it's Hot Topics. Okay, so this week on Hot Topics, we have to talk about the uproar on the internet these food reviewers are causing. I think we all can say we've gone to a restaurant after our favorite food reviewers said the food was good and we needed to try it. But what happens when they come to your city and they try your favorite spot and you don't like it? Well, Keith Lee and Darius Cooks, two very popular food bloggers, have stirred the pot in a way that has everyone debating if they even know what they're talking about. Recently, Darius Cooks brought his food tour to Seattle and checked out a few Black-owned spots like Communion, Nana's Southern Kitchen, and more. Now, child, when he hit the internet with low ratings for most of these spots he tried, Seattle wasn't having it and quickly started to defend their favorite spots and even questioned Darius's taste buds. And Keith Lee, that one got pretty wild when he went to Atlanta and not only walked out of popular spots like Candy Burris' Old Lady Gang due to what he felt was poor service, but also saying some of the food didn't match the hype. Check out this video.
So when we pulled up, I sent my family in to order for us. They said on the weekends, due to being busy, they don't do any takeout at all. So what we decided to do is my family's gonna go eat. They're just gonna come bring the food out while I'm sitting in the car, so they have no idea I'm here. My family asked how long the wait was to be seated. They said an hour to an hour and a half. My family then came and relayed that message to me, and I decided to go in myself. We walked in and we were greeted by a nice young lady. As soon as me and my wife were done taking pictures, the lady said the table was ready. Just because I have a certain amount of followers on social media don't make me different from nobody. My mom, my mom-in-law, my sister, they all paying customers just like me. So I want them to be treated just like me.
Now, I think it's fair to say some food reviewers do it just to cause drama, make people laugh, and at times bring down businesses, while others do it to truly let you know if that popular restaurant is one that you should be spending your money at. Personally, if I like the food, I'm going no matter what. Why would I allow someone's negative review stop me from eating at my favorite spot or even trying a local spot that I hear is good? Simply because we all have different taste buds. What might be amazing to you just might be average to me. So if you're in the PNW and want to try some of the spots Darius said wasn't that great, I say try it anyways. Because one reviewer not liking something doesn't mean you won't like it also. And now it's time for Backstage Pass, powered by Quantum Fiber. This week for Backstage Pass, we relive what went down at this year's Cutting Up Massacres over at Langston Hughes, which happens to be a staple in our community for over a decade, showcasing dance crews from all across the city. This year, not only did we get to enjoy the show, but we went backstage to talk with Coach T, who founded the Cutting Up Massacres, along with some of the dancers. Check out what went down.
Okay, you guys, we are at an amazing event today, and obviously I wasn't able to be a part of it in high school, but for those that were in here today,
Okay.
Coach T,
What's up?
what went down?
Man, so today was Cutting Up Massacre 2023. We did our first massacre in 2010. And so, what's that, 13 years later?
Yeah.
13 years later, we are still here. We are still selling our shows, and I'm just beyond grateful.
Cutting Up Massacre, tell us how you ended up creating this event. How did it come about?
I was recording myself and then posting them to YouTube and making Cutting Up Learn Them because I had moved to LA to pursue my dreams. So one time we had a show and I named it Cutting Up Massacre because I named all my pieces, you know what they are. And after that, I don't know, it just grew legs, you know, so it turned from a performance to a whole production. I wanted my community to meet the outside dance world because, you know, growing up Black, you don't think that dance is a career all the time. You don't think dance is more than, oh, that's just that little thing. But for me, it was my saving grace, and I wanted my community of parents to know and understand that so they can continue to pour into their children.
It's a space as like a choreographer as well as a dancer to one, get re-inspired, because sometimes what happens for me is I kind of, once I get in like, you know, kind of a set of moves, I kind of stay in there. And it's refreshing to see other people, to see how they hear songs, what those beats mean to them. It's awesome. And seeing people like, so I started dancing on Cutting Up when I was in 8th grade, and now I am 25. So seeing like people, same thing, who I knew since they were like 10, are now like 16 and cutting up. So, you know, like it's awesome. Yeah.
What would you say, an event like this, how does this impact our youth? Why is this so important for them?
I think it's so important because our youth gets a chance to see their choreographers be on stage. Not just tell you what to do, but show you that we do it too. So what we're telling you, it's not just, you know, for you to hear it. No, we mean it. We got to do it for ourselves. I think it's also important because the youth get to see their peers. Like, cause so when I was in high school, we didn't really have a dance team. I just had my friend from high school me saying like, I didn't even know you really dance for real, you know? So like, here it gives them a chance to really see your peers who are not in the dancing, that they are talented, you know, and that may inspire them to be like, dang, let me find out, I want to dance too. I didn't even know you did all that, you know, so.
It gives them like a moment to see it and be like, maybe I can do it too.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to just do what your school does, you can do something outside of school too, yeah.
If you like seeing Black people be joyful and living their life, come to the show. If you like seeing kids like have a good time and smile, come to the show. If you love seeing people in costumes, come to the show. Like, Cutting Up has been a part of Seattle for, what, 20 years, I think?
Yeah.
And so, like, there's no reason why you should not come and support the kids doing what they love to do. Pure Pimp Blank. And also, it's a good time. It's like family, we're all laughing and kicking it, like, just come and enjoy yourself.
All right, you guys, today was a really, really dope day. As I've literally told you all over the years, and for some of you over the month, I was on Cutting Up when I was in high school. So to be able to come to the Massacre, which I honestly ended up missing last year, and I was so sad about it, and I told everyone, I'm not missing it this year, and I'm so happy that I didn't. To be able to see all of the different teams from across our city, get on the stage, dance, perform, the precision, the practice, and trust me, I was on Cutting Up, so I know what kind of practice goes into some of these performances. It was so beautiful and so uplifting to see. These kids are working their you know what's off to make sure they can put on a performance, but also express themselves. There's something about dance that when you finally relax, you are just really able to just be yourself. You're able to kind of let loose a little bit. And when you finally let loose, that is when you are at some of your peakest moments. If that's even a word. You know what? It's gonna be right about now. Anywho, if you did not make it to this year's Massacre, I hope that you make it next year because I had an amazing time and I definitely don't want for you to miss out again.
I think what I love most about this event is that it wasn't a competition. It was truly a showcase. Sometimes when you do an event like this, people are so focused on winning rather than just focusing on having a great time and putting on a dope show. I mean, don't get me wrong, winning is great, but it's something about not having the pressure to win on you, but just getting out there and having a good time. So shout out to you, Coach T, and the amazing teams and dancers. We're out to a quick commercial break, but when we return, we take a look at one of Seattle's most respected dance companies and schools that have been teaching young and old in Seattle how to express themselves through dance for decades.
A world of wonder awaits at Pacific Northwest Ballet's The Nutcracker. Treat your loved ones to the Northwest's favorite holiday tradition at Seattle Center's McCall Hall. Visit pnb.org.
A big day here at Lumen Field. Throws it over the top. Metcalf. Touchdown. Seahawks. Walker gets the handoff. He goes in untouched. Dalton gets hit in the backfield. He goes down. Keep bringing it, 12. Keep bringing it. The Seahawks win the game.
Movin' is more than just a ride. Movin' is redefining rideshare. No surge pricing. Means everyday affordable rides. Happy drivers. Means everyday happy customers.
You on my mind a lot. Don't need no time watch. I don't know how I got you in my pocket spot. Yeah, that's babe, need you every day. You seem like the barging down. Got my heart no barging in. From the bed to the floor to the couch. Might wake the neighbors up. Break you in, then break you out. In the end, we gon' make a child. Then we gon' hit the show. Part 2, we don't need no pause. We Misty, we gon' get tipsy. Don't need a power shot.
Copy my steal. Face the fact that. Copy my steal. Face the fact that.
1 in every 500 African Americans in the U.S. suffers from sickle cell disease. 1 in 3 African American blood donors is a match for patients with sickle cell. 1 appointment to donate blood with the American Red Cross can help save a life. Will you be that one? Visit redcrossblood.org/ourblood today to schedule an appointment at a location near you.
Big Tobacco thinks they know everything. They think they know you, your community, the places you go, the way that you spend your time. They think they got you all figured out, down to a formula, a calculation based off of numbers of what they think they know. Show them they're wrong. Learn more at theythinktheyknowyou.org.
Welcome back to Besa. Spectrum Dance Theater, located in the Leschi neighborhood of Seattle, first opened its doors in 1982 with the intention of bringing dance of the highest merit to a diverse audience composed of people from different social, cultural, ethnic, and economic backgrounds. Spectrum's principal objective is to make the art of dance accessible through contemporary dance performances and high-quality dance training in a variety of dance styles. 3 organizational components comprise Spectrum: the principal company, the school, and the community outreach programs. Not too long ago, we caught up with the good people at Spectrum Dance to learn more about the company and especially the school. Here's their story.
The School of Spectrum Dance Theater was officially founded in 2004. By Sean Roberts. So her and Mr. Donald Bird, the artistic director of the company, joined forces and said, you know something, we need a school that will support the type of work that we want to promote. The values that I want to share and impart, it's simply that it's what our core belief is and our core value is, which is it's dance for all.
Hi, my name is Donald Bird, and I am the artistic director of Spectrum Dance Theater, and this is my 20th year. Social justice is a really important part of what I do. I would say right now it is central. It is central also to the mission of Spectrum. The third part of the mission of Spectrum says to educate audiences or people about dance as an art form and also as a social civic instrument.
I've been a huge fan of their work artistically for a really long time. I think Donald and the company have taken on complex social issues way ahead of when a lot of arts organizations were doing that work. And more recently, about a year ago, my daughter started taking dance classes there as a 7-year-old pre-ballerina. I think the role that arts and culture plays in transforming communities and transforming individual people's lives, I think their commitment to racial equity and social justice through their practice is really important to me. And I think doing all that while maintaining a really high degree of artistic excellence is something I find very compelling.
A lot of organizations, dance organizations, arts organizations say dance is for all or art is for all, but I thought how it has manifested itself at Spectrum is unique. Most dance organizations, if they give scholarships are based on an assessment of talent, aptitude, potential. And at Spectrum, that wasn't the case. The only requirement is the desire to dance. Those people that have a desire to see that kind of work, that is who I think, primarily who we serve, but that's one aspect. We actually always are thinking about who else is being left out of the mix. What does all mean? And which alls are not having access to what it is that what we are doing, and how can we adjust that?
You look at art in general, you don't realize the impact that the art has on our society and how much these people work and how hard they work, because it is their passion, and it's beautiful. We've got generations of families who still attend classes here. It is magical.
I'm a big advocate for arts education and the power of creativity to help young people find their voice. I think it's in part about social emotional development for a 7-year-old girl like I have. It's also, I think, over time, a place where she can sharpen her creative skills, build a practice around movement and around expression. And if she wants to continue on as a dancer, Spectrum can bring her all the way up into a pre-professional program.
This is your lab. This is where you make mistakes. This is where you fall down. This is where you just try something. No one cares. You fall down, so what? What are we gonna do, laugh? This one's gonna fall down next, right? So be safe. No one's watching. Not that no one cares, just be who you are.
We are always being challenged to engage people and for people to welcome being engaged by the experiences that they have in Spectrum Theater.
More than 500 students of all ages come through Spectrum Studios each week to take one or multiple classes, along with 64 classes offered per week, representing 90 hours of dance instruction weekly. For more information, visit spectrumdance.org. We're off to a commercial break, but when we return, it's all about self-care as we head to the South End for the Holistic Health Fair. Then we go downtown to the Inside for their sound bathing, and off to Belltown to Noir Luxe Candles. You're watching Back2Besa. Welcome back to Back2Besa. So you know your girl is all about self-care and sharing with you some of the things that I come across that might benefit you. We have 3 different things this week, including holistic health fair, sound bathing, and candle making. Here we go. More and more people in our community are looking for holistic ways to build and sustain good health outside of mainstream medicine as part of their overall self-care regimen. Well, last week at Rainier Community Center in the South End was the Community Health and Wellness Fair, and Back2Besa contributor Trey Holiday was there to give us the scoop.
What's up, everybody? Trey Holiday here with Converge Media, and I am here at the Community Health and Wellness Fair. I got here because of Holistic Coalition, but there are plenty of partners in the building. It was so beautiful to be able to see all of the amazing folks doing jewelry and CMOS and, clothing. I'm telling you, there were so many different things here that I'm excited that they came here to the Rainier Community Center to show off what they have to do. And of course, Holistic Coalition was folding up the bodies with our resident fitness coach, Dion, body mechanic Abdullah. So I'm telling you, there's plenty to see here, and I'm glad that we were here on the scene to capture all that was going down right here for the Community Health and Wellness Fair. Check it out, y'all. It was phenomenal.
We are here today because listening to our community, I'm a part of this community, and knowing that we need these resources. We need folks to pour into us. We need spaces where we can be. Things that people say and things that services and products, we need stuff that's designed especially for us. And we also know that we don't necessarily go to the doctors to get some of our vaccines and different things. So we thought if we can bring it to the community, it would be so much better. So we brought vaccines, the flu as well as the COVID for both the adults and the kids. And we have all the childhood vaccines for the kids as well. We've heard from different community people saying, hey, I wished we had a place to go. I wish we could go and get these different products that are really specifically designed for us. So we had CBD here, we had scented candles, we had massage oils, and we had all kinds of amazing things here and services. We put the call out and we said, look, community, we're doing a wellness and a resource fair. Show up. And they did. And I've had nothing but great comments from everybody saying, this was amazing. When are you going to do it again? So the organizations that came together today was the YMCA Health Equity Team, Marvin Thomas Memorial, CompuKids Worldwide, Holistic Coalition, and It Takes a Village. Both food trucks outside are sponsors. They are providing this food for free to our community. So you see people walking around with the juicy burgers, you see people with the chicken and rice. These are from the food trucks that are giving the food out for free. It's an amazing thing. If there's some people out there that got some products and services that they really want to get to that Black community, others as well, we're not saying if you're not Black, you can't come. We welcome everybody to come. But this particular health fair is specifically designed to pour into the Black community. So we here, come check us out. My name is Wendy R. Moore. I'm with the YMCA Health Equity Team. Look me up, Wendy R. Moore at SeattleYMCA.org. We are planning to do it again. We're gonna check and see if this space is available, but March 30th is the date that we are looking to do it again. So we wanna do it again, but bigger.
Whew. Trey Holiday back with all of y'all. This was a phenomenal event right here at Rainier Community Center for the Community Health and Wellness Fair. Shout out to all the partners who helped to make this happen. Holistic Coalition and everyone else. I know Marvina Kemp was a part of this, and honestly, it was so beautiful. And I mean beautiful because it was brilliant and beautiful to see all of these amazing vendors out here getting to shop and get some sweets, getting some treats, getting some socks, getting some earrings. I'm telling you, it's always a great time when I get to spend money with my people. So shout out to everybody for making this happen and for showing up in our community and caring about the health and wellness of our people.
Keeping it moving on this self-care train, I'm happy to say there's a really dope healing space in downtown Seattle that's making waves. The space is called Inside and it's owned by Black queer women. Recently, we caught up with Sierra Jones, the Black spiritualist and founder of Inside, at one of their sound baths where she gave us some knowledge about our energy bodies, and we sat in on the class, which was a relaxing journey with sound bowls and guided meditation. Check out what happened.
Hi, I'm Sierra Jones, the Black spiritualist, and this is the sound baths at Inside.
I call upon my angels, masters, guides, ascended masters, and ancestors And I ask that they join us today in this healing. I call upon the same for those in this room to join us in this healing. Today we're going to be doing some sound healing. So I have some crystal sound bowls that we're going to be playing, and I'm going to be leading folks through a guided meditation, and it's going to have a little bit of Reiki infused, and going to be hopefully healing some people. I am certified as a sound healer. I am also a Reiki master teacher, and I have 9 certifications in neurolinguistics, which is kind of like hypnotherapy and how our mind perceives language. And so I got into this through my own healing journey, and with that I wanted to create a space where folks can come and explore parts of themselves and heal in a collective as well. What it does is it takes you into a theta state, which is the state in which our body heals, and when our healing mechanisms kick in, and when we're in almost like a meditative state. When you're in that theta state, it's during right before you fall asleep and stuff. And so some folks will drift off into sleep land but still receive that healing. And some folks are wide awake and buzzing the whole time with the energy. People of color really need this, and we experience so much trauma and so much in our lives that we don't address it, and nor were we taught the tools on how to heal our energy bodies. Our physical body is one layer of many layers. So what we tend to forget is that we are physical beings, but we're made of energy. At the smallest level of who we are, we're made of energy, and our cells respond to vibrational frequencies. So when you think about when you are happy and you're in alignment and you're whatever, your energy and your frequency is going to be good and high. And when you're down and you're sad or angry or whatever, your frequencies are going to be lower. And so these bowls are higher vibrational frequencies that can go in and kind of break up energetic blockages within your bodies, or let's say you just got in an argument and you didn't deal with it, or you didn't release that energy, that can create a block within your body. And what sound bowls can do is break up those energetic blocks on a frequency level. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey. Check us out on Instagram at A Space Inside, where you can sign up to experience one of these yourselves.
Sound baths are said to be like a reset button for our energy bodies because they truly offer a multitude of benefits. They're not just about reducing stress and anxiety. They also energetically provide a safe space for processing traumas, releasing difficult emotions, and even challenging those limiting beliefs that may be holding us back. If you're interested in continuing your journey of self-discovery and self-care, check out aspaceinside.com. If you know me, then you know I love me some candles, and not only buying them or receiving them, but also making them with my own hands when I can. It's like a serious self-care moment. Not too long ago, I stopped by my good sis Kalina Bruce's Nora Lux Candle Bar in Belltown and caught up with her and also made myself a candle. Here's her story.
I'm Kalina. I'm the owner of Nora Lux. We started in the kitchen, now we're here. It was really like a pandemic passion project. So it was supposed to be a side hustle. I wanted to sell like 10 to 15 candles a month and kind of go from there. And then, yeah, it just kind of took off. I had been in education for a really long time, so I went from literally like being with my scholars and the families to being like on Zoom every single day. And so I started lighting candles to just like woosah before I started. And yeah, I was lighting a candle every day, and so I started thinking like, I wonder if I can make these. Our concept is that you can come in and you can create a candle from beginning to end. You also can go into our retail space and shop and you can buy candles, but really, you know, we like to say that candles are a conduit for whatever it is, for community building, for networking, for growth. I think that self-care is a necessity, and self-care does not mean that you're being selfish when you take care of yourself, because you cannot pour from an empty cup. You know, you have to continue to make sure that you're good. And I think a lot of times as a business owner, I take on a lot because I want my business to be successful, and I get to the point of like literally like hitting a wall and breaking down. And I have to remind myself of like, okay, did you eat today? Did you drink water? Did you, and so I try to find those like happy, fulfilling things, that like ways to celebrate small victories. I think that's really important, because a lot of times we have these big grand goals, and on the way there, we're actually like having these victories, but we're not acknowledging them as victories because we haven't actually met like the goal that we have in mind. And so just like finding time to be like, girl, you got out of bed today. Like that is a victory, like you made it on time. I think we have a little bit of something for everybody. We definitely have, we have over 80 fragrances. So we have like your standard, like your lavenders and vanillas and floral kind of things. We have ambers, we have musky, we have like a black pepper and something else. So all that to say, guys need love too. And we also have a men's collection, which we launched during Men's Health Month with June. So definitely like we also promote self-care and mental health awareness for everybody. We are located at 3020 Warren Place in Belltown, Lower Queen Anne. We're in between First and Denny. Sometimes the maps will send you to Warren Avenue. We're in Warren Place. And our website is noirluxcandleco.com, and all of our socials are noirluxcandleco.
Thank you, Kalina, and the team at Noir Luxe Candle Co. And as you might have seen on a previous episode, you can also purchase a special line of Kalina's candles at the Starbucks Reserve on Capitol Hill in Seattle. To set up your candle-making self-care session or order candles online, visit noirluxcandleco.com. We're out to another commercial break, but when we come back, we start our celebration of Native American Heritage Month.
You on my mind a lot, don't need no time watch. I don't know how I got you in my pocket spot. Yeah, that's babe, need you every day. You seem like the barging down, got my heart no barging in. From the bed to the floor to the couch, might wake the neighbors up. Break you in and break you out. In the end, we gon' make a child. Then we gon' hit the show. Part 2, we don't need no pause. You miss me, we gon' get tipsy, don't need a power shot.
Copy my steel, face the fact that copy my steel, face the fact that.
Kick off the holidays with Irving Berlin's White Christmas at the Fifth Avenue Theater. Music, dancing, and a real snowfall at every performance. Buy tickets now for the whole family. White Christmas at fifthavenue.org.
Move-in is more than just a ride. Move-in is redefining rideshare. No surge pricing. Means everyday affordable rides. Happy drivers. Means everyday happy customers.
The new COVID-19 updated booster provides the best protection available right now. So don't wait. Stay safe this summer and get your updated booster today. To find a free vaccine provider near you, go to kingcounty.gov/vaccine.
A world of wonder awaits at Pacific Northwest Ballet's The Nutcracker. Treat your loved ones to the Northwest's favorite holiday tradition at Seattle Center's McCall Hall. Visit pnb.org.
It's Native American Heritage Month, and we're about to talk about the history of the Suquamish Nation. And part of that includes the American pastime baseball. And fun fact, they toured Japan with their all-star baseball team over 100 years ago. Here's their story.
The team was very legendary, and it happened a long time ago.
And so when I was younger and working at the museum, there were always these like, hey, did you know those guys went to Japan? Those old guys went to Japan? And I really goes, yeah, the Lowry brothers and Webb. And of course, I grew up with Webb, so Lawrence Webster, because him and my dad were good friends. And we were, of course, my mom and dad were good friends with Maryland. When I started working for the tribe, I was in college and I had a part-time job with the tribe in our archives. The story started to come out more and it became more of a focus of a big part of our history. So there was a lot of recordings done of the trip. Here they had this big opportunity for a fully expensed, supposed to be, fully paid trip to Japan, and they were gonna get paid to play because they were semi-pro. And they had to put a team together, and it was like, okay, let's go to Japan. And I think some of them looked at them and went, Japan, where's that? And some of them were like going, wait a minute, I got a job. I can't just take off to Japan for 2 months. And so they got 8 players together. So I've been in that position before. Like, I got to find 2 more players, So they ended up finding some guys in Seattle that were minor league players that they knew because they were like, we'd heard, one of the better teams in the region. So they knew a lot of the other good ball players. And so they brought some of those guys on to help.
My dad was 22 and his friend Woody, I think, was 18 or around 18. And he had to really talk to his parents. He promised he would take care of him, that he would come back home. My dad played different positions on the baseball team, and he was a catcher, and he was also did umpire. It meant a lot to the community. Family members of the ones that traveled there continued to play baseball. My dad's name was Lawrence Webster, and most people called him Webb. I just know that he liked baseball from a very young age.
They were brought over because there was a great interest in American Indians in Japan, and they thought it would be very unique to have, they'd be a more unique American team, which they were. So that I think that they felt like they had a certain amount of responsibility to promote the game and also promote their culture. The 100th anniversary started to approach. I started thinking, God, this would be really fun to do something to honor the team. I started thinking about how to do that, and at first I thought, well, the Mariners should get involved, because they're the team of Seattle, and they've got the name of our chief on their uniform. It seemed only appropriate that they would honor a team that went to Japan, which has played a big role in the Mariners' history as well. So after a little bit of effort, we were able to contact them and get that set up, and then really started working really hard on trying to get the story kind of put together.
When I heard that we were going to go over there for this big celebration, I was like, oh, I wish I could be the one to throw out that ball. But I didn't think that would happen. But I got a phone call from Leonard, and he asked me if I wanted to throw the ball out. I was just about fainted. I was just, I was so excited. When I threw that ball, I was overwhelmed with the roar of everybody. It was just so loud. And I really thought about my dad and all of those ball players that traveled over there and what they experienced in another country playing baseball. You just these little guys from over here and from our tribe, and just it still makes me, think about them when they traveled there, what it had to be like to travel to another country. I would like people to, maybe ones that don't know it, that they would come to know it and understand how important baseball was to our people. They did travel and play against one another and other teams, that this was sort of the heart of our community at that time. We didn't have all of what we have today. And so it was just really the heart of our community was right here, this house right here. It's home.
I think it's pretty great that we had a team in Suquamish, precursor to the Seattle Mariners, that not only is the home of their name of the city, but also had a group of young people, young ball players that went to the country of Japan and started a relationship that has continued between Seattle and Japan in a baseball manner.
Much love to the Suquamish Nation and your baseball legacy that runs over 100 years. You can learn more at suquamish.nsn.us. We're off to a commercial break, but when we come back, we uplift the Seattle Association of Black Journalists and their recent Black Voices Matter event. You're watching Back2Besa. Welcome back to Back2Besa. Established in 1988, the Seattle Association of Black Journalists is an affiliate chapter of the National Association of Black Journalists, a group of more than 4,000 Black professionals working in the media. SABJ is one of the largest and oldest media groups in the Northwest, comprised of more than 50 Black journalists, communication professionals, journalism students, and journalism educators. SABJ members work in radio, television, print news, online media, and public relations. They are editors, reporters, television anchors, media executives, and visual journalists. Not too long ago, the SABJ held its annual Black Voices Matter event, and this year's theme was Beyond the Byline. There were journalists Tat Bellamy Walker of the Seattle Times, Lola E. Peterson of the South Seattle Emerald, and Mayoa Aina of KNKX held a panel discussion moderated by Kevin Henry about the story behind the stories in the headlines. Check it out.
We heard from journalists who have done some pretty difficult stories that require winning the trust of people who are in difficult situations. And that's what it was great to hear about, how they approached it. Ways that they tried to gain the confidence and trust of people to tell stories that would otherwise be difficult to tell, but that the public really needs to hear. It's important, Black voices do matter. It's important for the public to hear those voices. And it's important for those Black voices to know that someone cares and sees them and wants to amplify that voice.
Me and other Black journalists, we talked about just the importance of storytelling in Seattle, the importance of Black storytellers in Seattle, and just walking folks through our journalistic process.
This was a great chance for journalists to explain, to talk about, to examine the sort of process they go through in a public way so that the public, the other journalists here, can get a sense of what it takes to do some of this reporting. It's not just collecting facts. It's not just doing interviews, but it's connecting with the people who are part of those stories.
Seattle Association of Black Journalists every year does a Black Voices Matter, and this time we decided to do a panel discussion about just the journalistic process and all the things that journalists go through in this community.
It's important for Black journalists to have, a space where they can talk about the issues that they're experiencing in the field, the issues that they're experiencing, during their reporting process, but also like a space where they are uplifted and can be amplified. Events like this are really important for the community to know that there are Black storytellers in Seattle.
Today, we came down to Rainier Arts Center for SABJ's open conversation where we really highlighted Black voices in media. And honestly, I enjoyed myself. I enjoyed getting some of their feedback, and you already know I had to ask a question at some point.
Those moments when your editors are like, girl, did you really mean to say that? And obviously you meant it when you wrote it, but sometimes there's that fine line that gets magnified. So how do you guys have those conversations to where your piece is still able to come out, but you're not lost in that piece?
Probably one of the most powerful relationships in journalism has to be between the writer and the editor, right? And if you have that relationship, then you have the trust.
When you come to spaces like this, you're speaking to your own. You're speaking to your own family, your friends. It's a trusted and sacred space. So whatever you need to ask, you're able to ask it and get honest answers to your questions. As a member of the SABJ, it felt really good to be present for a second year in a row for Black Voices Matter. Big shout out to all the Black journalists and media professionals in the room, especially the icon Essex Porter. Also, congratulations to Jerry Brewer, who was recently elected president of the SABJ. To learn more, visit sabjonline.org. We're out to another commercial break, but when we come back, it's time for events to know about. You're watching Back to Besa. You ever just take a serious moment to reflect on your life and see how far you've come, and more importantly, where you're going? Well, this weekend, believe it or not, I finally had a day off. Crazy, right? Doesn't happen often. And decided to hop on the Washington State Ferry to Bainbridge Island and find my thoughts while gazing back at our Emerald City. This journey called Back to Besa has been a whirlwind, to say the least. But as I reflect back on nearly 20 episodes and over 100 stories, yes, can you believe it's been over 100 stories since our launch on July 1st? I realize what a very special position I am in to uplift you and our community. To uplift your stories, your joys, your pains, your passions, and your future. And not just here in Seattle, but in Tacoma, Portland, Spokane, and even Boise. Please believe, I don't take this position that I hold, nor your trust and viewership lightly. And just know that I am still that roundaway girl from the Central District, chasing her dreams and trying to help as many people as I can along the way. Reflecting, it feels good to see how far Back to Besa has come. Gazing into the future, I am so optimistic as to where we will go together. Thank you for your support.
A big day here at Lumen Field. Throws it over the top. Metcalf! Touchdown! Seahawks! And it is picked off! The fans are in the stands. They've got their towels. Walker gets the handoff. He goes in untouched. Dalton gets hit in the backfield. He goes down. Keep bringing it, 12. Keep bringing it. The Seahawks win the game!
Welcome back to Besa. It's time for events to know about, where I tell you about all the dope events happening around the city you don't want to miss out on. First up, this Sunday there's a 90s brunch at the Stone House Cafe. Tuesday, November 7th, Travis Scott is performing at Climate Pledge Arena, so you already know traffic is going to be wild. Wednesday, November 8th is Wind Up at the Royal Room. Friday, November 10th, there is a Seattle Cake and Sip happening over at Black Dot Underground. Monday, November 13th, Adam Sandler is going to be performing at Climate Pledge Arena. Thursday, November 16th, WizKid is bringing his More Love, Less Ego tour to the Paramount Theater. Saturday, November 18th, there is a Friendraiser Canvas of Change Art Walk. This is happening at 4524 South Henderson Street. Saturday, November 18th is Build 10 Shades of Blue celebration. This is happening at the Ramada Inn in Tukwila. Thursday, November 21st, Talib Kweli with special guests will be performing over at Nectar Lounge. And finally, Zoo Lights presented by BECU starts on November 24th over at Point Defiance Zoo and Aquarium. That's it for this week's events to know about. If you have an event that you want me to shout out next week, send an email with the event details to Back2Besa at whereweconverge.com. Now that you're all up on the events to know about, we are off to our final break. And when we come back, I have a very important message for you, and we will be doing Affirmation of the Week. Welcome back to Besa. Before we get into the affirmation of the week, I want to remind you to get up, get out, and vote on Tuesday, November 7th. Now, I'm not going to tell you who to vote for, but I will definitely tell you to make your voice heard. Your voice and your vote matters. Now that I know you're going to go and vote, it's time for this week's affirmation. This week's affirmation is, I believe in my dreams and I won't stop until they become real. First things first, your dreams have to be yours, not your mom's, not your dad's, not your aunties or your grannies. It has to be your dream, because if it's not, how are you supposed to see it? I always say, if I can't see it, it won't happen. And that's just that. So next time you have a dream or a goal, I want you to write it down, create the action steps of what you will do to make it a reality, and Add due dates. That's important. Now that's it for this week's episode of Back to Besa. If you have anything you want me to know about, shoot me an email at back2besa@whereweconverge.com and catch me in Seattle on his 106.1 weekdays 7 p.m. to 12 a.m. and in Portland Saturdays 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. on Jammin' 107.5. Thank you for watching, and as usual, have an amazing rest of your day. And of course, keep that energy high.